At Canic Firearms, we believe in the power of freedom. Freedom to protect, to defend, and to live confidently. That's why we're proud to introduce the Canic Mete MC9L and MC9LS, precision-engineered pistols designed for today's American. Whether you're carrying concealed or out at the range, the MC9L and MC9LS are built for accuracy, durability, and comfort. These pistols are the perfect blend of performance and dependability, because freedom isn't just a right, it's a responsibility. Canic, superior firearms.
You're listening to Late Night Radio on the SHR Media Network. Caution, there will be mature themes explored and potentially adult language used. If Conservatarian words, phrases, certain concepts, or rhetoric offends you, tune out now.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
I have come here to chew bubble gum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubble.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I'm DZ. You're in the saloon. It is a Tuesday. It is October the 22nd. I had a look. The year of our Lord, 2024. And I got a ton of stuff for you tonight. But I also have a lot of updated stuff for you. Welcome to everybody in chat. Elon Musk is here. Big thumbs up to Elon Musk. Always enjoy seeing him here. You're a genius, mister. You can take it from me. Also, SHR Media is here. Greenhorn Trucker is here. Reaver, if you ever want to have common sense reaved, you must watch the Reaver of Common Sense. But I go back to my original statement, which is something similar to this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to DZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show, live and direct right here on the SHR Media Network. I'm the aforementioned BZ. I am your conservative Sherpa. I will be so forevermore until the day that I cack, guiding you through the maelstrom of Democrat, leftist, and globalist lies, deceit, chaos, and betrayal. And please note, as per normal, this is the standard Mark 1, Model 1 disclaimer. What you're about to hear tonight consists of my opinion and my opinion only, or those of my guests. I am not having any guests tonight. But what I will tell you is that if you are interested, and I see we do have a lot of folks in here, I'm going to be turning on the phone line a little bit later. And you can call in. And as I indicated, I've got some programming notes, which I will be telling you about in just a few moments. You can order a drink. You can do what you like. This is America. I'm in a free state. I am no longer in California. Always spell it with a K, because I spent a lot of money to be liberated and leave that stupid piece of crap state. So again, thanks to everybody for being here tonight. The folks are loading up. If you want to load up on calories or beer or brown M&Ms, son of a gun, if I was thinking, I would have played the David Lee Roth brown M&M story. That's a classic, and David Lee Roth does it really well himself. Okay, so some programming notes. Because I have to be my own producer, let me do that. Tomorrow night, I will not be on because it's Wednesday. Thursday, I'm still debating whether I'm going to be on Thursday night, because I'm doing a show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., the last show before the election. in 14 days. Oh my God. Can you believe it is 2 weeks, just 2 weeks to the election? And I want to mention that to you as well. So tomorrow I'm going to basically be making my last interview of Dan Wilson. He's a Kootenai County candidate for sheriff up in North Idaho, the county in which I live. I've spoken to him twice already. And tomorrow's show will probably be about an hour or so, I'm guessing. It's sort of a wrap-up kind of show where some insinuations have been met and he'd like to reply to them. So I don't know, it might be kind of an incendiary show.
At Canic Firearms, we believe in the power of freedom. Freedom to protect, to defend, and to live confidently. That's why we're proud to introduce the Canic Mete MC9L and MC9LS, precision-engineered pistols designed for today's American. Whether you're carrying concealed or out at the range, the MC9L and MC9LS are built for accuracy, durability, and comfort. These pistols are the perfect blend of performance and dependability because freedom isn't just a right, it's a responsibility. Canic, superior firearms.
If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Some salacious things have been made. They're going to be answered. And politics, as you know, especially local politics, can be gritty, shall we say. So I'm going to be speaking to Dan Wilson, a candidate for sheriff in Kootenai County, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I will be going live, and then I'll be putting the show up later in podcast. And we have, like I said, we have Elon Musk, SHR Media, Greenhorn Trucker, the Reaver of Common Sense. Sackhead Sean is here. And welcome to everyone, all you Rugrats, one and all. I grandly appreciate it. Well, I was going to tell you that, there are so many things to announce. Okay, I may have a show Thursday night. I'm not exactly sure yet. Like I said, I will be having the show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. A bunch of things are coming up. And one of them is that we are going to do an election night special. If I can find this, I should have it already. By the way, in case you're wondering, I am your Conservative Sherpa, and I will be here all night for the next roughly 2 hours because, as per normal, I have a ton more stuff than I can do anything else with. So we're going to be having, SHR is going to be having an election night special. Wait, I located it. Here we go. So 2 weeks from now, oh my God, can you believe it? 2 weeks from now, we're going to be electing a new president. And there are some people that are saying, well, you know, there's not going to be an election. Certain things will occur. Who knows? Well, I'm pretty sure there's going to be an election. Now, will we know the results the next day? It seems to me that the elements of evil are attempting to do their very best to make sure that we don't have any damn idea. One thing I want to say up front, and everybody on SHR has been saying this, and I emphasize it as well, emphatically, and that is this. Leftists and Democrats do not want, and globalists, come on, they do not want you showing up at the polls. So they're going to try to do one of two things to you to get you not show up at the polls. One is They're going to tell you that they're so far behind the Democrats and Harris. They're so far behind that you're running roughshod over them and you don't really need to show up at the polls, because that would just be, that's like rubbing it in, smearing it in. So why don't you just stay home, little boy, little girl? You don't need to show up. The Republicans don't need your vote, and Trump doesn't need your vote. Or they're going to say, we, the Democrats, we are so far ahead that there is no way humanly possible that you can catch up. You can flood us with thousands and thousands more votes. Forget it. You're done. You're gone. You're toast. Your vote means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, you can stay home. And that's how that rolls. The important thing is this, and everybody here, Sackhead Sean, Jersey Joe, have all emphasized that there will be no red wave. There will be no gigantic tsunami like people have forecasted. That won't happen. The only thing that can possibly happen is you get out to vote. If it's legal to vote early in your state, go ahead and do it. If it's legal, fine, do it. If you only like to vote on voting day, that's fine. But I suggest you get in early, because in your precinct, wherever you are, whatever county, it's not entirely impossible that a lot of people are going to come in and vote kind of last second on election day, next Tuesday, November the 5th, 2 weeks from now. And even then, a ton of things that very few can forecast. Who knows what can happen between now and then? So if you are comfortable with early voting, go do it. Go do it. Absolutely. Or if you want to wait, just the most important point is recognize that you are going to make a difference. So then if it's you and it's me and the rest of the people in your neighborhood, and more people are registering to vote on the Republican side, and if you simply say to yourself, I don't trust any of these people. I don't trust any of these polls. I don't trust the American media maggots. I don't trust what my TV is telling me. The only person I can trust is me and my family and other conservatives and Republicans and independents if you want to bring this country back. So you absolutely have to get out to vote. That is the only way anything of significance will occur. The polls, many people I'm sure are going back to, but look what happened in 2016. The polls all said that Hillary Clinton was going to win, and you might as well stay home. She had I remember figures somewhere around, there's a 95 percentile that she's going to kick Donald Trump's ass on that night. And that didn't happen. And we know what happened. It was completely unforeseen. Don't assume that it's going to happen again, because so many other elements and factors are in play right now. Too numerous for me to even begin to mention. So don't count on the Republican Party. Don't count on your friends. Make sure you have a ride. Make sure that you vote early if you can. Make sure that you get something back, even if it's just one of those, hey, I voted stickers. Be proud of the fact that you voted. Or if you want to vote on election day, November the 5th, I suggest you go in early. Every time, everybody, both sides of the aisle, they always say, oh, well, this is going to be the most important election in world history. Okay. Let me ask you, Do you think this is going to be one of the most important elections in the history of the United States? I certainly do. Think, like I've said before, think up levels. It's in my opinion, it's not just Republicans versus Democrats. It's not just conservatives versus leftists. In many, many ways, because you and I, you're watching this show tonight because you are aware. You have a certain level of awareness above and beyond most of the other, I hate to say this, drones that you encounter at work or perhaps around in your neighborhood. You're aware, significantly aware, or you wouldn't be here of what's going on. So it's persons like you that I'm asking, please, if you haven't voted and it's legal to do so, go vote early. Go do it. Or if you vote on voting day and there's no way to do any of that unless you actually vote on voting day. Don't make any kind of an assumption that, well, I didn't get there early enough. And I didn't vote early. And son of a gun, something really silly, stupid, or fattening happened to me on Tuesday, November 5th, 2 weeks from now, and I wasn't able to vote. Shame on you. But if you're aware, clued in, like most of the people that are listening to me right now. And again, thanks to everybody who's listening. Thanks to everybody in chat. Thanks to KLRN, who's now carrying our shows on SHR Media. Thanks to everybody who watches live. Thanks to everybody who listens to my show and the other people, the great folks here at SHR Media in podcast later.
At Canic Firearms, we believe in the power of freedom to protect, to defend, and to live confidently. That's why we're proud to introduce the Canic Mete MC9L and MC9LS, precision-engineered pistols designed for today's American. Whether you're carrying concealed or out at the range, the MC9L and MC9LS are built for accuracy, durability, and comfort. These pistols are the perfect blend of performance and dependability because freedom isn't just a right, it's a responsibility. Canic, superior firearms.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
We need your help. We need you to help keep the United States of America free, because you've seen how this country has operated under the Harris-Biden regime. 2 weeks ago, I devoted 3 hours of an illustration by way of videos that your government is essentially incompetent. You want, deserve, and must demand a competent government. This one isn't it. And so, if you wish, we ask that you come and watch us election night, because there are going to be a ton of people here to host this event. There's going to be myself, BZ, Sackhead Sean, Jersey Joe. We've got Jeff Dunitz, who's going to be covering the Northeast. We've got Earl Jackson. I'm going to tell you something about Earl Jackson in just a moment. He's going to be covering Texas and the South. We've got Lonnie Poindexter. He'll be covering part of D.C. We're hoping to have Carrie Baxter Donovan in. We're hoping to have Melanie Collette in. And also a cast of veritably thousands, okay, not really thousands, but a whole bunch of good people that we have yet to meet at KLRN, who are, again, I repeat, are kind enough to have been carrying our shows. So, election night, come here. Same place, Same bat time, same bat channel, except probably about 3 hours early. We're probably going to be starting somewhere right around 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 7 p.m. Central and 8 p.m. Eastern, to get the results coming back. And who knows? I don't know. It could be a steamroller event where we get flattened, which is why I say go vote that day. We could run away. Probably, the truth is, it's going to be very, very, very close, which is why your vote now more than ever is going to make a huge difference. If you've been involved in elections where you've poo-pooed the elections and said, and all sorts of people have been in this situation before. My vote really doesn't count. Nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to me. And, these aren't perfect candidates. Okay. Look at the past 4 years and examine the 4 years before that. If you like freedom, like I do, my suggestion is Trump and down ballot. I'm hoping this is a brand new iteration of Republicans. So if Trump has the ability to take the White House, it can't end there. It must not end there. We have to grab the Senate. We have to grab the House. We have to grab Congress. We have to somehow nab the triumvirate to make sure that this nation is not subsumed and turned into something that no one really is going to want to come here for. And we have to have our borders back. We have to have our sovereignty back. We must have our energy independence back. We must have our physical independence back. I mean, I'm tired, aren't you, of people threatening your speech? How many times have you had your speech eradicated on various forms of social media? A ton, I'd bet. I certainly have. I was completely eliminated from Twitter before it became X because I said something about, the people in Nantucket, they're not going to like all the illegal invaders that are coming there. Gone. And Twitter also suspended me, not permanently, but for a while, when it said I was lying about Hunter Biden's laptop. And social media, as we all know, and the FBI had their finger on the election. That was election interference. Now, is there any guarantee that that won't happen again? Of course not. But that's why I say, oh my God, more than any other time, I need you. We need you, everybody, to get out and vote. I mean, the criticality of this is almost beyond measure. And I'm sorry, there was no teleprompter here for that. I'm looking at the Rumble chat, and Mike is in Rumble chat. Good to see you here in Rumble. Let me see if I've got some other people going on in what I think is a YouTube chat. So thanks for being here. I greatly appreciate it. So the election coverage is coming. We'd love you to be here. We'd love you to listen to us and watch us, because we've got a potential ton of people, real good, well-rounded, well-schooled professionals who've done this stuff before. Myself, Sackhead Sean, Jersey Joe, all the other people that I mentioned beforehand, they have had a serious hand and are involved in some very serious politics and have been on their own level for many, many years. And so it's that professional insight that we hope to be able to give to you during the election times. Let's move on. I want to tell you about somebody that we've got coming in now. He's been on my show before, and let's see. That's Earl Jackson. Well, I'd like to play this because Earl is going to be coming to SHR Media in November. Take it away, Earl.
Hey fellas, are you mission ready? Coming in November to SHR Media. By way of Big E Jackson, you need to check out Mission Ready Men. It's a show that equips you to navigate our society's challenges from a biblical perspective with courage and conviction. Tune into Mission Ready Men as we examine our culture through the prism of biblical truths, teachings, and how to apply them in our daily lives. Prepare to step up, stand out, and step into your role as a man, as ordained by God. That's Mission Ready Men, hosted by Earl Jackson, coming this November on the SHR Media Network. And get mission ready.
We can't wait for Earl to be here. Earl is going to be an incredible plus, a wonderful addition to SHR. We wanted to have him before. Earl was in a whole host of different places at the time. Earl, like me, like Sackhead Sean, like Jersey Joe, life interferes in all the things that we'd love to be able to do. And now the other thing that I want to emphasize to you is we are really getting it together at SHR Media. Go to shrmedia.com. It is conservative media done right. I am, in fact, your conservative Sherpa. And before we get the show rolling, I want to, if I can, throw some other things out to you. It seems that already, in the span of just a couple of weeks, we've forgotten about North Carolina and the various states, Tennessee, Georgia, that were all affected by Hurricane Helene and also by Hurricane Milton. These things are still needed. Nothing is perfect. FEMA didn't show up for quite some time. Of course, all the leftists say, well, that's just a lie. No, it's not. I had people on my show for 3 hours illustrating verbally and on video that it was a true cluster of almost biblical import. They still could use all of these things right here, and they can use your help. And so I recommend these two places. If you have any kind of favorite place where you'd like to donate, fine. I cannot be there. It's too far away. I'm not in any kind of shape or age to be able to assist in that fashion, but I can assist with cash. And if you are so inclined, I recommend these two places. The first is SamaritansPurse.org. SamaritansPurse.org. And for those of you who just tuned in, SamaritansPurse.org. The other place that I recommend is CajunNavyRelief.com. CajunNavyRelief.com. Those are two organizations that have been there already on site for a number of weeks. God bless them for doing that kind of business. As I recommended before in the show, I do not recommend the American Red Cross, and I do not recommend sending money to FEMA. It's going to go, in my opinion, to places other than directly to the people who need it. And everyone, as we so well know, everyone there needs it. So please donate. I have, and I probably will again. Get out, folks. Get out, get out, get out, get out and vote. Thanks for being here tonight. So I'll tell you what, let's start the show. Hey, are you guys interested in a vacation? Think about a vacation.
Beauty of our waters to the rich culture of our cities. Minnesota is where unforgettable memories are made.
Go inside now! Get in the house!
Step into friendly neighborhoods that make you feel right at home the moment you arrive. Stroll through vibrant streets, soak in the energy of our dynamic nightlife, or indulge in a shopping spree at one of our world-class boutiques. And behind it all is strong leadership and inclusive policies that create a place where everyone can thrive. Minnesota. We're ready to be your next adventure.
Ah, Minnesota. It makes me proud to think.
Welcome to Minnesota, where every moment is an adventure. From the tranquil natural beauty of our waters to the rich culture of our cities.
Stop, and let's get ready to go on this. How about? Oh, come on.
HeyJackass.com Chicago Death Toll Update. Courtesy of every leftist running that city. From the mayor, police chief, and every autocrat in the 50 wards.
You know, I only have two hands. I can't be everywhere at once. But anyway, we're talking about HeyJackass.com, illustrating Chicago values. Chicago, the city of big shoulders. You can go and watch this right now. Go to HeyJackass.com, but you can see it instead right here. Illustrating Chicago values, October to date. Shot and killed 39, shot and wounded 136, total shot 175. Total homicides 42, week in progress October the 20th to October the 26th. Shot and killed 8, shot and wounded 21, total shot 29, total homicides 8. Year to date, the nice numbers, the big numbers, the huge numbers, shot and killed 454, shot and wounded 2,117. Total shot 2,571, total homicides 513 in the city of Chicago, where gun control rules all. By the way, a person is shot every 2 minutes and 45 seconds in Chicago, and a person is murdered every 13 minutes and 48 seconds in Chicago. Thanks, HeyJackass.com.
The bloviating Zeppelins, HeyJackass.com Chicago Death Toll Update. Courtesy of every leftist running that city. From the mayor, police chief, and every autocrat in the 50 wards.
And of course, there are things that I like to remind you of because it's extremely important, like this. Here's Kamala Harris. I'm going to play this every damn time until people understand what she is. She says, oh, my views haven't changed. Well, actually, she's right. Her views haven't changed. Let's watch the flips, and you know which views are the ones that she truly embraces.
My values have not changed.
Reduce red meat specifically.
Yes.
The Boston Marathon bomber. They should be able to vote.
I think we should have that conversation.
Yeah. Abolish ICE.
Yeah.
Would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes, I'm in favor of banning fracking. I am prepared to pass a Green New Deal. I support a mandatory buyback program. We're not going to treat people who are undocumented cross the border as criminals. The idea that more police equals more safety, that's just wrong.
Policing, as we know, goes all the way back to slave patrols and that idea.
Yeah, you are absolutely right.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
We need to take a look at these budgets.
Do you ban plastic straws?
I think we should.
70 to 80% tax rate.
I think that's fantastic.
Chipping now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas? Yeah, I am radical. I do believe that we need to get radical about what we are doing.
At Canic Firearms, we believe in the power of freedom. Freedom to protect, to defend, and to live confidently. That's why we're proud to introduce the Canic Mete MC9L and MC9LS, precision-engineered pistols designed for today's American. Whether you're carrying concealed or out at the range, the MC9L and MC9LS are built for accuracy, durability, and comfort. These pistols are the perfect blend of performance and dependability because freedom isn't just a right, it's a responsibility. Canic, superior firearms.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
That's Kamala Harris. This is me. I'm BZ. The next time you hear me, I'm going to have a whole new round of promos. SHR is changing. Now it's time for, hey, let's take a little bit of a break right now, shall we? Come right back after this. Pretty please.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, are you guys listening? This is Shannon from Right Way with Shannon and Mike in the AM on SHR Media. I know you've been wondering where we are and what's been going on. Well, folks, that's right. We're back. So please join us 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Thursday on SHR Media, on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and Spotify, and Facebook Live at 11 a.m. on Right Way with Shannon and Mike in the AM at Facebook. You don't want to miss a minute. We've got lots of guests, lots of segments, and lots of interesting things. And let's face it, there's nowhere for you to go, so you might as well tune in. Again, Right Way with Shannon and Mike in the AM. We're back live on the air on SHR Media, 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Thursday, audio and Facebook Live, audio and video. Yes, we are going to do video. Facebook Live, Right Way with Shannon and Mike in the AM. Hope to see you soon.
Want to make an immediate difference in the life of a critically ill child? You have the ability to do that right now. Make a donation to Dream Makers for Life, the organization that restores dreams to seriously ill children and their families. You can sponsor a dream pack for a child, which contains a clear PVC backpack, a dry erase board adventure coloring book, a journal, and dry erase markers to inspire a critically ill child to envision a future adventure and hope. Want to become a dream maker for life yourself? Go to dreamforlife.org. That's dreamforlife.org. Help a child. Help a family. There is always hope.
Unleashed Jeremy Hansen, the most explosive pro-American podcast on the planet. Pro-MAGA, pro-Trump, pro-conservative. Come join the resistance. Fight for what really matters in America. 5 p.m. Central on UJHLive.com, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Pandora, or MAGAbook.com. Come join the resistance and fight for America. Unleashed Jeremy Hansen.
Do you value yourself, your family, your friends? Want to know more about how to survive, thrive, and stay alive in these dynamic times? Listen to Around the Campfire with Kate, Thursday nights and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, only on PSN TV. That's Around the Campfire with Kate. News that nobody in the MSM wants to report. Remember, train hard, train smart to survive, thrive, and stay alive.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show. Thanks kindly for watching tonight on Rumble, X, SHR Media, the SHR Media YouTube channel, and KLRN. Please subscribe to the channel. Every subscription gets me either a porcelain Dalmatian or a new bottle of vodka. I'm not exactly sure which one, but I benefit from it. And also, hit the subscribe button everywhere you happen to be watching the show. And if you like the show, we're trying to get some analytics going so that we can get the show out to an even greater amount of people than we have right now. So welcome back. Welcome to the saloon. Oh, golly, I almost forgot that I have another department coming up right now.
It's time for happy stories and good times.
This really pisses a lot of people off, especially leftists, which is why I love the hell out of this. Now, remember when Mark Zuckerberg spent about $400 million on the presidential election about 4 years ago? Well, they had no problem when the FBI was involved in election interference, when Google was involved in election interference, when our government and social media were involved in election interference. But now that Elon Musk has decided that he's going to throw some cash
At Canic Firearms, we believe in the power of freedom. Freedom to protect, to defend, and to live confidently. That's why we're proud to introduce the Canic Mete MC9L and MC9LS, precision-engineered pistols designed for today's American. Whether you're carrying concealed or out at the range, the MC9L and MC9LS are built for accuracy, durability, and comfort. These pistols are the perfect blend of performance and dependability because freedom isn't just a right, it's a responsibility. Canic, superior firearms.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
OMG, these people are
Let me
lit.
ask you about
They're
a
lit.
development we learned about overnight. Elon Musk says he will be giving away $1 million every day to random voters who sign his super PAC's petition. You are a former attorney general. Is this legal?
I think there are real questions with how he is spending money in this race, how the dark money is flowing, not just into Pennsylvania, but apparently now into the pockets of Pennsylvanians. That is deeply concerning. Look, Musk obviously has a right to be able to express his views. He's made it very, very clear that he supports Donald Trump. I don't, obviously we have a difference of opinion. I don't deny him that right. But when you start flowing.
The problem is, though, yes, they do deny you that right of free speech. They don't want you to ever be able to have access to any kind of social media anymore where you can utilize that free speech. There are so many of them, most all of them, leftists, Democrats, who have said that they have zero interest in you continuing with your free speech. The only speech acceptable is theirs.
This kind of money into politics, I think it raises serious questions that folks may want to take a look at.
Yeah, because it's not their money, it's somebody else's money. Ooh, how nasty, how bad. Well, then came something that we haven't seen before. And then came all the memes. And then came Bronson, so to speak. And just as she would testify to anything that you want her to testify to, well, Christine Blasey Ford, somehow in the back of her brain, she seems to remember, oh, yeah, I remember her in a McDonald's. Yeah, Cammie the Cackler was in a McDonald's. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. And that's about as serious as this. And it's like, let the memes commence. And the memes, in fact, they did commence. This is a good one. Page 404, page not found. I can't imagine why not, or how that managed to not get up in there. And then, of course, the other memes. A day on the job, and now he owns it. Yay, baby. Now, this is something that I have not had experience with because I don't go to McDonald's all that much. People used to complain, well, the ice cream machine is down. Well, I didn't have ice cream. I didn't know you could get ice cream at McDonald's, which shows you what I know. I would go there for milkshakes. But look, clearly, this dude has fixed it. And the new logo, at least this week, is right here in your face. Now, we have a photo, a quick snap of if she had been working at McDonald's. This is what would have occurred. I believe so. And then this is also a happy story. We'll get back to the Donald. This is a happy story. Now, remember how all the leftists are saying that it's Trump who is the white supremacist. It's Trump who is the threat to democracy. He is the existential threat. And now this is wonderful. Hey, these two people right here, by the way, they're vulnerable Senate Democrats in key swing states. And now they've decided today that they're going to hold at arm's length Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Vulnerable Senate Democrat candidates in crucial swing states are distancing themselves from VP Harris in the election's final days. 2 weeks to go, by the way, in case you just tuned in. And these people, whose names do not bear repeating, by the way, they hated Trump. They voted for his impeachment. But now they don't mind sucking off the air and the vacuum from Donald Trump doing better. Here's another one. Oh my God, sphincters were clenching all around. Wouldn't you like this? North Dakota voters could end property taxes and pour gas on the spark of a growing tax revolt. Let me say this just for a second. When you retire, or if you're in a business, you generally pay what are called quarterlies for taxes. So if you pay quarterlies as a business, you begin to understand exactly how you are being sucked dry by the government. You are being slowly but surely exsanguinated. And I guarantee you this, if you want a tax result, the Beatles said, hey, you want a revolution? I know how to get you one. Make people pay quarterlies. Once you send a check to the U.S. government every quarter, you'll begin to understand that the fangs are in and have been in long and deep and very hard, tapping your veins for quite some time, which is why this is a very important story. The government, they don't want to see this succeed. Now, it's called Measure 4 in North Dakota, and it would repeal the most egregious and least moral of all the taxes. But critics say it would create chaos. We can't have chaos. By the way, are you aware, folks, that each quarter the government rakes in more money than it has ever spent in prior quarters? The money, the revenue isn't diminishing for the U.S. government. It's going up. Now, of course, as per normal, you don't really get a say very much as to where that cash goes. So wouldn't you, I suspect, like to have some of that for yourself? I know I would. Keep it to yourself and keep things local. Keep government local. Let the benefits go to you, your city, your county, your community, your area. Wouldn't that be pretty keen? I suspect it would. Now, if this ballot measure passes, North Dakota would become the first U.S. state to end property taxes. Its passage could also add muscle to the push to eliminate the tax elsewhere. The idea has been floated in states like Texas, Nebraska, and Michigan, while lawmakers in the Great Plains and the Mountain West states say big reforms are needed quickly. All you need is a little packet, a little ball of snow on a hill like this. And this is what big government asswipes on both sides of the aisle truly fear. A little ball of snow, just like this, on the top of a hill. And you drop it down and you wait and see if it picks up more snow. And so, trust me, everybody and his brother is going to be watching this like a hawk very carefully. Here's something I might add as well, since we happen to be on the subject. As you get older, and if you're nice enough, and if you're kind enough, and if you're smart enough, and if you're lucky enough to have had a house, and you have that house upon your retirement, wouldn't it be nice to, I don't know, let's say you pick it. When you retire, no more property taxes on your house if you're older. No more property taxes on your house when you get to be 65. And that for working all those multiple decades, you get to keep that house. You and I both know how many people older elderly people have been kicked out of their houses because they can't afford the property taxes for those homes. And sometimes, and frequently, that's intentional. Let me go back just for a moment. Let me put my tinfoil. So one day, I'm going to make a tinfoil cap that I can put it on for instances like this. You know, something like that didn't happen to Lahaina in Maui, did it? Because the property that was there was so beautiful, and the huge motels and resorts that could be potentially built upon all that property that burned down. Because I've been to Lahaina. The buildings there are usually small businesses run by the local folks right there. Gone, mostly gone. And we don't hear anything about them anymore, do we? Just like we don't hear about the people that were decimated in North Carolina or any of the other states that were smacked upside the head from 2 recent hurricanes. You know, and life has told you about this time. You know, you got to wonder and ask questions. So in terms of the property taxes, wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? Again, I say the United States is encountering massive revenue, and it keeps expanding and growing larger. Well, then we have this guy, the Donald.
At Canic Firearms, we believe in the power of freedom. Freedom to protect, to defend, and to live confidently. That's why we're proud to introduce the Canic Mete MC9L and MC9LS, precision-engineered pistols designed for today's American. Whether you're carrying concealed or out at the range, the MC9L and MC9LS are built for accuracy, durability, and comfort. These pistols are the perfect blend of performance and dependability, because freedom isn't just a right, it's a responsibility. Canic, superior firearms.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
And he sat at a window at a McDonald's. Let's see. Who did that? Oh, God. Tom Petty. I'm burning the fries and I ain't got wings. I'm burning the fries and the onion rings. Donald, take it away.
I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again. Thank you. Look at that. Look at that. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Nice to see you.
You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet you.
You're not ordinary.
I mean, thank you so much.
You are not ordinary. I can see.
We pray for you, and you are the type of person we want to
Listen to what he says.
Thank you so much.
So nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, I took a bullet. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
When you think about it, I guess that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So that drove leftists insane. They went literally nuts. Oh, it's staged. I'm not even going to address that. Do you think? Wait a minute. If I only had a producer, right? Come on, producer. And then, of course, more happy stories. There's this. This was a sit down with MSNBC and a whole panel of Arab American voters essentially came out and said, not a one of them, not one came out to say, oh yeah, well, we're going to support Kamala Harris.
Voting for Donald Trump in 24.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah. It's definitely not by Harris. That's for sure.
Who's voting for Kamala Harris here?
Wait for it.
Absolutely
Wait for it.
No, not possible.
There's nothing she can do or say for us to change our mind.
Who's voting third party in 2024?
Good chance.
So Jill Stein.
Most likely. It's also a possibility that some of us will just abstain from voting altogether, but we do know that that's not the best political strategy, you know.
Absolutely correct. But see, This is a voting bloc, BLOC, that the Democrats thought for sure we got this sewn up. We got this. So we don't have to pay any attention whatsoever to any of these people. You want to hear another happy story? This occurred back in California where I used to live. Always spell it with a K. Pretty please, if you will. Huntington Beach city attorney says the state of California, specifically i.e. Governor Oily Hair Newsom, you can go pound sand over the latest laws that you have. So there are 2 new state laws that were signed by Governor Oil Hair, and they have their sights set on Huntington Beach because Huntington Beach is not in accordance with God's, little g, Newsom, his great plan. SB 1174 bars local governments from enacting laws to require residents to show a valid form of ID in order to vote. You did know that. The state of California came out with a law saying that not only we don't recommend that you take any form of ID for voting, no, we made it illegal to ask for an ID when you go and vote. And then there's AB 1825, the California Freedom to Read Act, stops library boards from making policies to ban or limit circulation of books because of the views, ideas, or opinions in them because they contain sexual content. Age be damned. Your little kids can truly go to hell. That's kind of where we'd like to see them anyway. So this is also Governor Oil Hair. He's got this weird war with Huntington Beach because Huntington Beach dared and is daring to push back. So he signed laws aimed at expanding housing development in California, always spelled with a K, dubbing them Exhibit A for cities failing to do their part and vowing they'd soon face new penalties. So does this bill come, I ask, I query, with a ton of cash to make sure that these cities and counties and entities have the amount of money that he's mandating that they invest in housing? They could be bankrupt. They could be mismanaged. He doesn't care. That doesn't factor. And Huntington Beach is pushing back, and now they are most definitely on his hit list. Here's another happy story. Toyota joins Ford and other major companies in scaling back DEI requirements. Like this.
All right, y'all, it's that time again. It is time to expose Toyota. They have gone totally woke. You are not going to believe what is under the hood of this story, so strap in because it is insane. If you're even slightly moderate, you are going to be questioning if you should ever give this company a dime in the future. Before we start, I want you all to keep in mind that Toyota also is massive in Japan, a country that I don't think is going to take kindly to a lot of the things we're about to point out. Also, here in America, they depend on families buying their vehicles. Again, I don't think families are going to be big fans of what I'm about to expose.
So I don't have the time to go through the whole thing, but look at some of the things that Toyota was sponsoring. Toyota sponsored a drag queen program at a summer camp for kids, not for adults. Oh, no. Not for just like 18 and above. No, not just for 21 and above. For kids. Toyota opposes laws that ban sex changes for kids and fund groups who want to make sex changes legal for children, and they worked with HRC to oppose these laws. Toyota openly supports the Equality Act, which would allow men into girls' bathrooms, sports, and locker rooms. You know, like your daughter. And she needs to see new and exciting young older people into a locker room. But BZ, you have to ask yourself, what the hell do these companies like Toyota and Ford have to do with supporting things like this? It's like, isn't one of the first things that you're thinking, as I would and do, is how about you just shut the hell up and build cars and stay in your lane? Well, it was kind of affecting their bottom line, like Bud Light.
At KPMG,
And-
we make the difference. It's not just something.
Stop. Quiet. I'm not to there yet. So why it's virtue signaling. to try to get in people, more people, to be seen as, oh, we're so inclusive. We love everyone, including your daughter. We'd like to see your daughter groomed. We'd like to see your son groomed. We'd like to see all the children groomed. They need to see more things like that. Age appropriate, that's a phrase we know nothing about, and we completely eschew it whatsoever. Gesundheit. Here's another story. If you're in California, it's no shock. I left California in 21, a couple of years ago. And there was so much to do because I'm so old and ancient and aged and fat, etc., that it took me a couple of years to bring my show back. And I brought it back on SHR. SHR was gone. And I brought it back to SHR in January of this year. And since then, SHR itself has... That's an explosion, in case you're not familiar with that. But in the meantime, California, always spelled with a K, has decided through Gavin Newsom, Mr. Oil Hair himself, this is the dude that wants to be president so that he can do to the country what he's doing to California right now, which is running it into the ground. Because who needs oil? Nobody. Who needs petroleum? Nobody. Because electric everything works, for example, so well in an emergency, doesn't it? Sure it does. California oil refinery announces closure after Newsom signs more regulations. Oh, not against electricity. Oh, gosh, no. Perish the thought. Phillips 66 said last Wednesday that it's closing its Los Angeles area refinery by the end of 2025, saying that it has very serious concern about the future oil market in the state of California. And that's because Newsom signed a new law on Monday that set more regulations on the oil industry in California, always spelled with a K itself. With the long-term sustainability of our Los Angeles refinery uncertain and affected by market dynamics, we are working with leaders and land development firms to evaluate the future use of our unique and strategically located properties near the port of Los Angeles. Meaning, well, we're thinking about getting the hell out of there. By the way, that one refinery accounts for about 8% of the state's refining capacity. Let me point this out, which is not pointed out in this article. Now, where I live...
At Canic Firearms, we believe in the power of freedom. Freedom to protect, to defend, and to live confidently. That's why we're proud to introduce the Canic Mete MC9L and MC9LS, precision-engineered pistols designed for today's American. Whether you're carrying concealed or out at the range, the MC9L and MC9LS are built for accuracy, durability, and comfort. These pistols are the perfect blend of performance and dependability because freedom isn't just a right, it's a responsibility. Canic, superior firearms.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
In North Idaho. Idaho has this many refineries. See? Cero. Null. Done. Zed. None. Zip zero. The null set. California, by the way, has 17. Well, okay. Soon to have 16 refineries. Look at the prices. We're paying about $2.99 for gas right now in Idaho. And still in California, always spell it with a K. Some people, some entities are paying $7 a gallon. There was a little teeny winky town, a coastal town in California that was mandating that people pay $10 a gallon. Because that's what they would, if they can't throttle you completely, they want to make it so tough for you to have an internal combustion engine vehicle, they're going to make your life hell. Period. End of statement. So what's going to happen is that about 600 employees and 300 contractors are going to be done, gone. And so the law signed by Oil Hair Newsom requires oil refiners to maintain a minimum inventory of fuel and authorizes the California Energy Commission to require refiners to plan for resupply during refiner maintenance outages. And if you don't, you're going to be fined. Well, that's funny. PG&E has been screwing up electricity and killing people and murdering people. At least at last count, almost 90 persons. And I don't see PG&E getting consistently fined because Gavin Newsom loves electricity. So sooner rather than later, you'll be burning furniture in your home when it's cold and rainy to try to keep yourself warm, because you can't have heat, certainly not by anything other than electricity. And then when the power goes out and PG&E pulls your plug, then, well, you're SOL, folks. I want to say this. In an attempt to be as kind as possible, because of KLRN and other people, I've expanded my audience, and I have desperately attempted to hold back my F and S words like the good boy that you know me to be. It's the top of the hour. I have a suggestion. Why don't we take a break and come right back? You need alcohol, don't you?
Conservative media done right.
Maybe you gotta
You're listening
pee.
to the SHR Media
Go
Network.
do it.
It is he that is me, bringing perspective from across the sea. Join me, Jack Alexander, 4 days a week for the Jack Alexander Experiment podcast, as I take a unique outsider's look at the news and issues affecting life and liberty here in the USA. I'll show you what the mainstream media refuses to. Politics, border security, defense, healthcare, travel, nothing is off limits. Catch the Jack Alexander Experiment podcast each Monday to Thursday on Facebook, YouTube, and everywhere good podcasts can be found. Also, check out the website, www.jackalexanderexperiment.com.
Come listen to the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show, Tuesday and Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, for the best in late-night Conservatarian wireless talk radio at shrmedia.com. Raised as a free-range child with dirt and freedom, BZ is broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California. Jump into our plush, sumptuous, palatial, and resplendent chat room at shrmedia.com. Now, with 18% more umbrage and 20% more bulbosity than previous shows, and with delicious Liberty additives. Remember, BZ realizes that with great beard comes great responsibility. No chinchillas were harmed, embarrassed, or the focus of any sarcasm whatsoever in the making of this ad.
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
At Century Arms, we're committed to supporting your freedom, your rights, and your way of life. With generations of craftsmanship and innovation, we proudly provide firearms that embody the spirit of liberty. Introducing the new Sharp Brothers MB-47 rifle, designed for precision, built for strength, and ready for anything. Whether you're on the range or defending what matters most, the MB-47 rifle is where generation meets innovation. For more information, visit us at centuryarms.com now.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
After 6 years covering terror and corruption, the Unpleasant Blind Guy is making a change. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker and YouTube through SHR Media and on the Western Free Radio Network as I team up with Jeff Mitchell, host of the English Defense League radio show on blogtalkradio.com. Check show pages for airtimes. It's the Unpleasant Blind Guy.
On ADL Radio.
There's
no surrender, ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the first hour, she is gone. She is out the door. She is kaput. Time goes so quickly in the saloon. So if you would, I hope that you were able to use the electric winkle chamber, and perhaps you got yourself an adult beverage and you sat down and you're watching, or maybe you're just listening on Spreaker, which is, we're there too. We're on Spreaker. And that's where a lot of people were listening to me, truckers and whatnot, when they couldn't watch the show. They would listen to the show on Spreaker. And that was grand, gosh golly, that was a whole metric ton of fun. So as I mentioned, and I will mention it again, please be with us. We are inviting you to be here with us when we do the election show. There's going to be a ton of us doing the election show November 5th. We're going to start at about 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be myself and Sackhead Sean and Jersey Joe and the people at KLRN, and also Lonnie Poindexter and Earl Jackson, our new gentleman who's going to be starting in November. And we've got some other personnel. Let's see, Jeff Dunitz, who is probably going to be there and showing up. He'll be covering the Northeast. We got to figure all these things out, but it'll be a ton of fun. And again, a reminder to everybody, don't believe anything that you hear. Use your own Mark I, Model I eyeballs. Don't trust the government. Don't trust the media, the American media maggots. Don't trust your friends. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. For those of you who just tuned in, get out and vote. As I've said before, and Jersey Joe stole this from me. That's okay. He can steal anything he wants. It doesn't make any difference. Act like it's Noah's Ark and the last pair of monkeys are climbing that ramp, and you're the third monkey, and baby, it's starting to rain. You grok my concept on this? This is what we all have to do. Me, you, everybody. Let us continue on. And I've got more. This, God, I wish I had the photo, and maybe I can steal it somewhere. Sackhead Sean had it. There was a town hall where Sackhead Sean showed on his show The Edge of Liberty. By the way, for those of you who just tuned in, as I indicated, you can watch The Edge of Liberty on Monday and Fridays. Start your week and end your week with The Edge of Liberty. And just like a car, although it has ABS, ABS won't make those noise when you slam on the brakes. Okay, like that. At noon Pacific and also at 3 Eastern, The Edge of Liberty. Anyway, I saw he had a photo on his show. And there's Cammie the Cackler doing some stand-up at a town hall. And in front of her on that photograph, on a pedestal, there's a teleprompter up high, and then there's a teleprompter down low, no matter where her eyes go. And she was reading the teleprompter in a town hall. Here's from trendingpolitics.com. A reporter reveals Kamala's town hall audience was half rent-a-crowd and half flown in by network. Vice President, let's see, when was this? A week ago. Vice President Kamala Harris is under fire after Thursday's Las Vegas town hall, with reports saying that much of the audience was either paid to be there or flown in by Univision, the network. It was held on the campus of the University of Nevada, UNLV, hosted by the Mexican network, Univision, and billed as an opportunity for undecided Latinos to question the vice president in the run-up to the 2024 election, except that as part of Univision's Decision 2024, it was supposed to showcase the outreach effort. But there's a journalist called Glenn Greenwald, and he lives in Brazil. I'm not quite sure I understand why he lives in Brazil, but he does. Maybe it's because they make great thongs. I don't know. Anyway, his report indicates that half the attendees were flown in from various states at Univision's expense, rather than them being local Nevada voters. That included participants from Florida, Wisconsin, California, always spelled with a K. These people are far from undecided voters, and she can't even cheat properly because this got exposed. Wow. Okay. Speaking of Donald Trump, OMB, Orange Man Bad, the guy with the dead orange cat on his head. Take it away.
Goodness.
Donald.
Did you see what happened the other day with the teleprompter with her? That was not a pretty sight.
This is great.
Today we got 32 days until the election.
It's done. It's out. Now what do you do?
So 32 days. 32 days. Okay, we got some business to do.
Okay, great. Thanks for the extemporaneous kind of thing. All right. Now, this gal's name is Katie. Shoot, I can't think of her last name. She's a conservative, which is highly unusual in the UK. And careful, cover your children's shell-like ears, because the UK, as you might expect, is massively, horribly leftist. They hate themselves, not big fans of their country. And this is, God, again, I wish I had her last name. But anyway, she's going to say some interesting words, but every word of what she says is true. This is a happy UK story because it so pisses off the host of whatever the hell show this is, which is immaterial.
Can I ask you, is there any part of you as a mother of two daughters
Okay, this is up. The volume is up as far as I can make it. I apologize for that. So if you have volume on your end, you're going to have to turn it up, because as you can see right there, I've got the volume cranked all the way up. So even I'll be quiet for this one. Shh.
Kind of thinking just for a moment about this, that this is the man who talked about grabbing women by the pussy. Is there any part of you that feels this is not my guy? I don't want this guy to be talking like this about any woman at all. Do you not despair for the future in any ways?
Sweetie, I would rather be grabbed by the pussy than have a pussy for president. Woo. Go you.
And you're happy with that language?
I'm very happy with that language. Look, none of us are that polite behind closed doors. My girlfriends have ruder language. Real men have ruder language. The gentleman clapping is a real man, obviously. He would have ruder language for pussy. I'm not offended by the expression.
He's no longer in the locker room. He's in the Oval Office.
Sure, and that was a private conversation 8 years ago before he was running. Whilst Clinton was in the Oval Office, of course, Monica Lewinsky was on her knees with Hillary stood right by her. So I don't know if you're going to say that's any better, sweetie, because I don't think it is.
She's not president. I'm talking about the current president-elect.
Yes, but when Bill Clinton was president.
I'm not talking about the past. I'm talking about the future.
And 8 years ago, before Donald Trump even ran, he used the word pussy. I'm not offended. You are. You deal with your issues.
Are any of you have no issues? I'm just curious. Is there any part of you remotely concerned about the nature of...
No, you know what we needed...
How many times is he going to ask her the same damn question?
In America was someone that was going to have a strong lead, who was going to stand up for white people as well as black people in America, who was going to stand up for bringing jobs back, for allowing Americans to have their weapons and for allowing the Supreme Court to be a conservative Supreme Court. No one here can really understand that, which is why the pollsters were wrong, why you guys were wrong, why state broadcasters were wrong, and every other commentator and every other pundit was wrong.
Last question
because
for
you
you.
didn't get it.
And that happens to be jam-packed full of truth. You want to hear some truth? At the conclusion of this, I think it's about 18 seconds, 20 seconds, something like that. You give me the answer that Barack Hussein Obama poses right here, because I know what this answer is. Oh, I might have to turn this down because I think he's a little loud. Go ahead.
I don't understand how we got so toxic and just so divided and so bitter. And I get why sometimes people just don't want to pay attention to it. And we all have friends like that. We have family members who just like, you know, it's all a circus out there. I get that.
Who, in fact, folks, was the true first divider in chief? I'll wait right here. That's right, Barack Hussein Obama himself. So isn't this the pot calling the kettle black, so to speak? Hypocrisy, thy name is the Democrat Party? Any member? Any Democrat? And then part and parcel of the show today was your government works against you. This is a story that just emerged. And I've got tons and tons of stories because Barack Hussein Obama is also the guy that was trying to shame American black males into voting for Kamala Harris on account of because of melanin count, skin shade, or as Lonnie Poindexter is wont to say, paint job. Here's an interesting story. You may or may not have heard that there was a leak, and the House Intel chair said that leaking documents, if it were in fact discovered that it was on our end, is a crime. Yes, up to and including treason, folks. Anyone weigh in on what the penalty for a conviction of treason is? Bueller, want to weigh in? House Intelligence Chair Mike Turner said he's been briefed on a leak of highly classified documents detailing Israel's plan to attack Iran, which appeared on a Telegram account linked to Iran. So, based upon the briefing I received, the FBI's investigation is imperative of what clearly would constitute a criminal act of espionage. Stop. Wait, just for a moment. Because the FBI and the U.S. Secret Service was so diligent in discovering whose coke was hanging around the White House. And they got right on top of that. They also got right on top of the Hunter Biden laptop story. Because, you know, why wouldn't you avoid that like the plague as much as possible? Because you're in league with the people that are currently inhabiting D.C. right now and a great deal of the deep state. So basically, the plans of Israel to deal with Iran, to attack Iran, if necessary, those details were leaked. So let me suggest this. Well, let me ask you, do you believe that someone, the FBI or some other investigatory agency on the side of the U.S. will dig deep into this and be able to find out who leaked, like they were able to find out who leaked the opinion for the Supreme Court, because likely it was a leftist jurist. So they're going to get right on top of that, won't they? Well, in the process of despising Israel, as most leftists and Democrats and globalists do, because it's cool, you know, it's very cool right now. Cool. Do you think that there's a possibility or a chance that whoever or whatever series of whomevers decided to do that, and I believe it's probably on our side, in someone in the intelligence community, because they don't like Israel, and the 17 alphabet agencies are politicized as fuck now. Sorry. Do you think that perhaps the exact opposite of what they wanted is going to occur? Well, this was them, some leaker, deciding that they were going to piss on the pad in the flintlock on the powder of Israel. And I'll show them, I'll leak this material. Except what do you think is going to occur? I know. I have a pretty good idea because I'm kind of a logical thinking human being, and I've been doing that for quite some time. In 8 decades now. Oh, God, it pains me to say that.
At Century Arms, we're committed to supporting your freedom, your rights, and your way of life. With generations of craftsmanship and innovation, we proudly provide firearms that embody the spirit of liberty. Introducing the new Sharp Brothers MB-47 rifle, designed for precision, built for strength, and ready for anything. Whether you're on the range or defending what matters most, the MB-47 rifle is where generation meets innovation. For more information, visit us at centuryarms.com now.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Anyway, I've seen a lot of stuff. I've been to 3 World's Fairs and a goat fuck, or maybe 2. And my thought is, do you think that perhaps Israel now, logically and properly and reasonably so, is going to cut the United States out of the Intel Informazione? That's Italian for information. The Informazione loop with regard to what they plan to do with Iran. By the way, folks, have you ever stopped to think that, hey, I wonder where we get the bulk of our intelligence about what's happening in the Middle East? Gee, it wouldn't be from Israel, would it? Wait a minute. If I had a producer, you would have heard, it wouldn't have been from Israel, would it? Producer? But of course, I don't have a producer, and that's not what you heard. So it's not entirely impossible that the exact opposite of what a lot of these people wanted to occur is going to occur. I'll show everybody. I'll get even at Israel. Meanwhile, Israel, because of this, decides that it's going to gird its loins even longer, harder, and thicker when it potentially attacks Iran, the number one sponsor of terrorism on the entire planet, funded ably and wonderfully by the person we heard before, Barack Hussein Obama, with a couple of massive pallets of cash in the dead of night from a C-17 shipped over to Iran itself, and we keep funding them. But wait, BZ. Let me get this guy out of here. We'll go to him in just a moment. But wait, BZ. That doesn't make any sense, because if we send money to Iran, doesn't that money end up in like things getting shot at our soldiers and terrorist stuff aimed at us and maybe our allies and stuff? Why would the United States want to send money to Iran? Hey, now there's a question for our time, isn't it? And by the way, if you elect Trump, I wonder who's going to put a kibosh on all of that crap and start to throttle Iran, if for no other reason than with cash. Imagine that. Another of life's little lessons provided to you from me. And again, to everybody, thanks for being here in chat. Mike Pasqua was in chat. Sean Stroich is in chat. Elon Musk is still in chat. Greenhorn Trucker is still in chat. Sean was here. Reaver of Common Sense was here. So thanks for everybody being in chat. So let's go back to here. Remember, I said something about, well, your government works against you. Yeah, I have more stories about that. But Barack Hussein Obama thought it was a really great idea to insult American black males because, you know, they weren't doing the right thing and supporting good old Kamala Harris. And by the way, Chicago, they're kind of on edge right now. They're not real happy with the federal government right now because just about everything that's being sent to them consists of an illegal invader. Wait a minute. Is that pissing off the Chicago gangbangers?
America has allowed gangs to enter our country.
The migrants that are coming, they're taking over every block right now.
The city of Chicago is going to go up in smoke. It's going to go up in flames.
Gangs in Chicago are angry over the influx of migrants and criminals in their city. They say money that should be going to the African American community on the South Side is instead going to what they call non-citizens, and warn that turf wars between Chicago's gangs.
What they call non-citizens. Oh, you mean non-citizens. I call them illegal invaders.
And groups like Venezuela's Tren de Agua could see Chicago, quote, go up in flames. Photographer Matt McDermott and I traveled to Chicago's South Side to see what...
But you get the gist of this video, don't you? How terrible that urban blacks and males be upset that their city is besieged by fellow gang members. Hey, this is our turf. Go find your other turf. Go find it something. We're having a hell of a time shooting at each other. We don't need any more people shooting at us unless you want us to shoot at you. But they're upset, and rightly so. Even the actual law-abiding citizens are upset because of this. And I say, and rightly so. This has been, however, engendering a cultural shift that may benefit Donald John Trump, OMB, Orange Man Bad, the guy with the dead orange cat on his head, and maybe a little bit of analysis here because
I'm 68 years old now. I grew up in what was primarily African-American majority city. I recall as a small kid, there were even then schools that were completely African-American, which were really, really good schools that produced doctors, lawyers, professionals. Most of the families were completely intact. But somewhere along the line, that changed dramatically. What happened?
Well, we've done a great deal of extensive research, and what we found is that what was true where you grew up was also true across the South, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, so on and so forth, where you did have a lot of these predominantly black schools churning out professionals, men and women who are productive to society. What happened, to answer your question, was that there was a mindset shift. Booker T. Washington taught that it's incumbent upon the man and the woman to cast down your bucket where you are. And what that means is seize opportunities, be a man, be a woman of virtue, take care of your family, take care of your responsibilities, and all the rest will take care of itself. And so it was a mindset of productive, Christian, family-oriented values that shifted around the 60s with the civil rights movement, where the rhetoric began to change.
I know we all have to battle with this constant drain of a feeling of nobodiness. We haven't been able to be people.
We weren't called upon to be men and women of virtue. The focus rather shifted on the government and what the government is willing or not willing to do for us.
We are confronting issues that cannot be solved without costing the nation billions of dollars. Now, I think this is where we're getting our greatest resistance. They may put it on many other things, but we can't get rid of slums and poverty without it costing the nation billions of dollars.
And so that kind of de-incentivized a lot of the gains that were made in the way of productive process. Rather than carrying on your father's and grandfather's business, he may have started a plumbing business or an electrical company or a mechanic shop. Rather than carrying on these businesses, we decided to resolve to protesting and this kind of militant type politics.
The Black community has proven that we are good business people. I mean, that's Detroit, that's Tulsa, Oklahoma. Our generation was not good business people. That's not what we did. We were good civil rights people. I would have a revolution.
And so when we decided to put our trust and our fate in the government rather than our men and our women, that's whenever the decline happened.
I'm 68 years old now.
Stop right here. Let me get this out of here. I've spoken to Lonnie Poindexter and Ralph J. Chittum Sr. recently, last week as a matter of fact, who have said that essentially the once nuclear black family has been destroyed by the government, by the Great Society, by 1964, and by LBJ, in order to make sure that he gets persons of a certain hue and paint job dependent upon the government voting Democrat for the next 200 years. Oh, by the way, he used the N-word while saying that. That has been verified. And yet, people are beginning to finally realize that activity or inactivity has consequences. Lonnie Poindexter said last week, the once nuclear black family was just that. And they were great at businesses. His father was. His father is in his 90s. So things are changing, but they're changing under Trump. And I've said before, why does it take Trump to change this? Why haven't the Republicans addressed this issue? Because it's pretty clear, and folks are starting to begin to realize that, hey, BLM, not Black Lives Matter, but the Bureau of Land Management was right years ago when it said, don't feed the bears. It makes them dependent on free food. Some things are so basic that they are truisms themselves. Now, we talked about leftists. Here's a tweet from a guy named Palmer, the Palmer Report. The real proof of Donald Trump's dementia is that his handlers let him or forced him to do this today. Go to McDonald's at a window and serve people without pushing back. What a humiliating idea this was. And then Kevin Dalton responded, aptly and appropriately so, to the 4.7 million fast food workers in the United States. This is what the Democrat Party thinks of you. This is what white leftists think of you. You've seen this before. I will keep this as a reminder to people that are watching the show. Who are the real racists? The real racists are leftists and Democrats and globalists. This guy says the quiet part. Screw the quiet part. I'll just say it out loud. All these blacks for Trump should be sent back to Africa. And by the way, take Trump with them. Well, that's something you certainly want to hear from a leftist. But you know, and you've known already for quite some time who the racists truly are. Because probably you've got some leftist racists in your own family, don't you? Let's take a break.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Southern Sense is conservative talk with Annie, the radio chick you bellows as host, and C.S. Bennett co-host. Informative, fun, irreverent, and politically incorrect. You never know where they'll go, but you'll love the journey. Annie is a top conservative host on Top Talk Radio and features some of the finest guests packed with important politicians and newsmakers. Listen every Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern, noon to 3 Pacific, on the SHR Media Network. Remember, Southern Sense is common sense.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Hi, this is Eric Thompson. Please check out my new weekend review show, For Liberty's Sake, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Check out forlibertysake.com.
Hey, are you guys listening? This is Shannon from Right Way with Shannon and Mike in the AM on SHR Media. I know you've been wondering where we are and what's been going on. Well, folks, that's right. We're back. So please join us 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Thursday on SHR Media, on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and Spotify, and Facebook Live at 11 a.m. on Right Way with Shannon and Mike in the AM at Facebook. You don't want to miss a minute. We've got lots of guests, lots of segments, and lots of interesting things. And let's face it, there's nowhere for you to go, so you might as well tune in. Again, Right Way with Shannon and Mike in the AM. We're back live on the air on SHR Media, 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Thursday, audio and Facebook Live, audio and video. Yes, we are going to do video. Facebook Live, Right Way with Shannon and Mike in the AM. Hope to see you soon.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Children of all ages. Oh my God, look at the clocks on the wall. I have 3 clocks. It's about 9:33 on the Pacific Coast. It's about 11:33 Central. And it's 12:33 Eastern. It's 1749.72325. Top paragraph 4, page 60, paragraph 73 on, I think it's the third drawer down, but I never quite could understand Bolivian time. Thanks to everybody for being here. And this is about the time that I customarily say, if I can get this to play.
BZ's final
hour.
hour.
Quiet.
Step
Jeez.
up. Last call for alcohol.
Let's play that again, shall we? Okay, because I was talking, and my teacher should be saying right now, BZ, sit down. Here comes the ruler. Whack.
Folks, this is BZ's final hour. Step up. Last call for alcohol.
And he means it. Let's see. I was telling you last time before we were so rudely interrupted by a bathroom break that this guy's a racist right here. Imagine that. Then we've got somebody like this who's telling you what he thinks about you as a Trump voter. Okay? Here's what I suggest you do.
At Canic Firearms, we believe in the power of freedom. Freedom to protect, to defend, and to live confidently. That's why we're proud to introduce the Canic Mete MC9L and MC9LS, precision-engineered pistols designed for today's American. Whether you're carrying concealed or out at the range, the MC9L and MC9LS are built for accuracy, durability, and comfort. These pistols are the perfect blend of performance and dependability, because freedom isn't just a right, it's a responsibility. Canic, superior firearms.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at these words. Look at what this guy thinks of you. You just need to be eliminated. Now, do you think if you'd written that on social media saying that about Kamala Harris, that something would or would not have happened to you? I have a pretty good idea. I bet you do too. Use this as motivation. And from now until November the 5th, I'm going to continue to emphasize this on the shows. Get out. Vote. If it's legal, vote early. Make sure you vote on November 5th if you didn't vote early, because it's this guy right here who thinks this of you. He wants the same thing that he's had for the past 4 years. And so, well, gosh, BZ, what is that? Well, they mention Project 25. The leftists keep mentioning Project 25, 2025. Here is their Project 2025. Let me take this out. This is what they want to continue. She's told you, and I played at the beginning of the show, they want to abolish ICE. They want to completely open the border. They want to defund the police. They want to continue releasing violent offenders. They want to eliminate, they want to let the Trump middle class tax cuts expire. They will be expiring in 2025. They've said they want to ban fracking. All petroleum usage should stop. Fossil fuels, done, gone. Taking guns from lawful gun owners. Criminals, we'll get to them when we get to them. They know where you are, and they know what you have. Taking away the healthcare plans of hundreds of millions of Americans. As I've said before, why are there so many hospitals in the United States of America lined up at the Canadian border? Because it takes Canadians an assload of time to be able to get in to be seen at a Canadian hospital. Imagine that. And of course, she said, and continues to say, no matter what she says, go with your heart. You know what she wants, because that's her nature. That's who she is. Taxpayer-funded transgender surgeries for illegal aliens. Now, she was talking, Kamala Harris was talking about, Trump just doesn't have any energy anymore. He's running out of energy for his campaign. Here's Kamala Harris. Gosh, I could call her iguana neck, couldn't I? So who do you think is shagged because of this? Who do you think is taking days off from campaigning in order to prep for an interview? And then they're shaming Trump because he wants to go on Joe Rogan? That's how silly, stupid, and fattening most all of this crap is. And it's just exactly that. It's crap. So use this as incentives to get out to vote. Vote early, but vote. No red wave, no tsunami, ain't going to happen. It's going to be close and possibly razor's edge close. And it truly is up to you. I will continue to say this. Now, again, more identity politics. This is the king of identity politics talking to essentially the queen of identity politics.
Do you think some of the resistance of some men, black and white, is misogynist? And are you proud to see that most Americans, even being polled, have no problem supporting a woman at all? And I'm one that lived from Shirley to Kamala in terms of these campaigns.
And I have an emotional reaction to you raising the point of Shirley Chisholm, because it is on her broad shoulders that I stand, and so many of us stand. And we have come a long way, to your point, and on your specific point about including the fact that I have the support of countless Black men who are in elected positions, including just this afternoon and 2 church visits today with the mayor of Atlanta. That being said, I think that you are absolutely right, that there is this narrative about what kind of support we are receiving.
Let me say that a lot of Black males, and it's pretty clear to me that the 2 parties right now are striating into Republicans are going for the dudes and the middle-class workers, the hard workers. And they don't give a crap what color you are. They want you inside that tent. And all the brand X and the trans units, etc., and the women's are going over to the Democrats because they don't know what testosterone is. They don't even know what a male is. They don't even know what a female is. But again, it's all about the melanin count, everything. And if you want to know about the arrogance of her, let's talk and listen to her talk of arrogance.
You know, the power I have as a prosecutor is that with a swipe of my pen, I can charge someone with a misdemeanor, the lowest level offense possible.
Women don't like y'all.
And by virtue of that swipe of my pen, you will have to go to a courthouse and stand in line. You will have to come out of pocket and hire an attorney. You may get arrested for a few hours. You will be embarrassed in your community. You will miss time from coming onto the Google campus, all because with the swipe of my pen, I've charged you with a crime, which I may choose to dismiss 2 weeks later. It's an incredible amount of power.
Stop right there. Let me do this. I speak leftist. Let me translate for you. We, even then, 10 years ago, minimum 10, maybe even 15 years ago. It said 15 years ago. She has the power. You don't have the power. You are subject to her. She is not subject to you. Politicians don't answer to you. DAs don't answer to you, certainly not leftist DAs funded by George Soros, whom I should have mentioned, along with Elon Musk at the beginning of the show, because now the leftists and the Democrats or globalists are so upset that Elon Musk is daring to fund OMB. not like they weren't and haven't been funded by huge billionaires for a ton of time. So let us continue. This I find interesting. This is now Black women trying to tell Black men that bad things are going to happen to you if you're not falling in line and voting as a man for Kamala Harris. This is 15 seconds of what the hell?
Hello, ladies. I'm Trey. It's good to be here.
What do you do and how much do you make?
I work in finance, making six figures.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Do you have a plan to vote in November?
Nah, not my thing.
And that's what the women's want to happen to people who are stepping off and out of the lane itself. Oh, by the way, remember all the various hoaxes and the lies that were done and have been promulgated about Donald Trump? Now, there's a guy, you probably haven't seen him or you don't know him. He's a guy that has been historically around Detroit for quite a number of years, named Charlie LaDuff. He's a little bit of an odd egg, but he makes a lot of sense. And he's not very popular. He doesn't get on a lot of talk shows, but when he does, he speaks generally about Detroit. So let's see if I can get him to speak about Detroit.
You want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president. You want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president.
But what was actually said?
So we will build this policy, and it's called Build It in America plan. It's Build It in America because when foreign leaders and CEOs call me up to complain about our tariffs, my answer will be very simple. Build it in America. You don't have any tariffs. Build it right here in Detroit. You don't have any tariffs. Build it in Dearborn or Lansing or Grand Rapids or Flint.
And then
they said we were dead.
Detroit waving the white flag, the city filing for bankruptcy.
That our best days were behind us. That living here is like
living in hell.
But you know what we said? We said, F that. We rebuilt ourselves. We looked out for each other, got our hands dirty, and put in the hard work. And this guy, he don't know anything about that.
So stop.
At Century Arms, we're committed to supporting your freedom, your rights, and your way of life. With generations of craftsmanship and innovation, we proudly provide firearms that embody the spirit of liberty. Introducing the new Sharp Brothers MB-47 rifle, designed for precision, built for strength, and ready for anything. Whether you're on the range or defending what matters most, the MB-47 rifle is where generation meets innovation. For more information, visit us at centuryarms.com now.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
These were all the lies that were promulgated by leftists. And now you've heard them. Now, this is also interesting. What do I have? I got about 15 minutes left before the end of the show. I'm not going to be doing any overtime tonight because I have to finish doing the show for tomorrow. By the way, this is a show note. At this point, I may not have a show on Thursday. I'm still debating as to whether or not I want to do that because I have to prepare for a gentleman coming in on Sunday. Alan Thomas, he's coming from Fresno. I'm flying him in to be here for the next 2 weeks. He helped me build the Black Pearl, which is the computer that runs this entire shindig right over on the other side of that beautimous 49-inch Samsung monitor over there. And in the process of getting everything ready for him, I may or may not have a show on Thursday, but I am having a show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. with Dan Wilson, who is a constitutional sheriff's candidate for sheriff of Kootenai County, North Idaho, where I happen to live. Super guy. And the reason I want everybody to listen is because a constitutional sheriff is important, not just here, but wherever you are as well. Listen in, because there's a massive difference between a sheriff and a police chief and a constitutional sheriff. So let us continue. Here is Debbie Dingle saying the message she's hearing from black guys is Democrats take us for granted and Trump dares to talk to us directly. What?
You just heard Donald Trump making his appeal to black men quite explicit. Your friend, Congresswoman Debbie Dingle, who you campaigned with in Michigan, says that the message she's hearing from black men is, quote, Democrats take us for granted. Donald Trump talks to us directly. Are you concerned about black men voting for Trump or staying home?
Well, thank you very much for having me. Yes, I am concerned about black men staying home or voting for Trump.
So you can't say that he's not smart, because a lot of these people are starting to realize on the left that this is not exactly going the way that I thought it was going to. This is Kamala Harris. I played this before, but you need to understand this is who she is. She is this arrogant. She is this smug. She is this superior to everybody because, as she has said before, generally, you're stupid.
Is agreeing to voter ID one of those compromises that you'd support?
I don't think that we should underestimate what that could mean. Because in some people's mind, that means, well, you're going to have to Xerox or photocopy your ID to send it in to prove you are who you are. Well, there are a whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities, who don't, there's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near them. People have to understand that when we're talking about voter ID laws, be clear about who you have in mind and what would be required of them to prove who they are.
So all those hicks, all you people, all you hicks in the sticks of all colors, any color, all colors, you're stupid. The government needs to help you because you are that stupid and they are that much more superior to you. How did that happen? Well, you have an idea how that happened. So your government is working against you. And I have some final last illustrations to show. Remember this with regard to FEMA, because we talked about this at the beginning of the show, and to whom I think you should donate. I again reiterate, FEMA is not a first responder. The federal government is not a first responder. The federal government is not a second responder. The federal government is a crappy and incompetent third and fourth responder. Remember that. The person who will save you first is you and your family and your community and your local sheriffs and your local officers and the people in your community who have had the temerity to prepare for things like this. Because FEMA...
At Century Arms, we're committed to supporting your freedom, your rights, and your way of life. With generations of craftsmanship and innovation, we proudly provide firearms that embody the spirit of liberty. Introducing the new Sharp Brothers MB-47 rifle, designed for precision, built for strength, and ready for anything. Whether you're on the range or defending what matters most, the MB-47 rifle is where generation meets innovation. For more information, visit us at centuryarms.com now.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
And it's not bull. Doesn't have enough funding. Now, this is a contradiction. How does this happen? This is Mayorkas pleading empty pockets. Mayorkas warns FEMA doesn't have enough funding to last through hurricane season. But then on the other hand, an official from the inside says that, oh, wait, FEMA does in fact have funds needed for immediate response and recovery. And so how did that happen? Well, let's go back up here and see if I can find it through FEMA. Oh, damn it. I took it. No, I didn't take it. Oh, I did take it down. Because there are numerous documented articles that I might put up for the next show indicating that, yeah, FEMA funded illegal invaders. And the priority was them over you, over actual Americans. That was my show for 3 hours. That the Harris-Biden regime despises actual Americans and they prioritize illegal invaders over you. And this is KJP saying essentially that if you believe that you're not the priority, you're a liar. And FEMA facts, the true facts, as I illustrated for 3 hours on my show 2 weeks ago, that's not misinformation. That's actual, accurate information. Aided and abetted by who? This is an article, by the way, let me go back over here. If you go to shrmedia.com, not only do you find the shows of myself and Sackhead Sean on Edge of Liberty and Jersey Joe on Reaver of Common Sense, but you'll also find some articles here. This is one that was written by Sackhead Sean about an MSNBC producer who was caught on video admitting that essentially their job is to help Kamala Harris, meaning leftists, Democrats of all shapes and sizes. I got about 10 minutes, so I can keep going. Let's go to this illustration. Not only does the government not like you, but students, I should say teachers, don't like you as well. So people, now remember we saw some of our Black Americans saying, well, we don't think that Kamala Harris is too keen on us anymore. Well, it doesn't just stop there. It isn't just limited there. And the violence and the rhetoric coming from mouths is from leftists' mouths, like this guy, who's an instructor at the University of Kansas. So let me stop here for just a second. If you think that because you live in a red state, or what is perceived as a red state, that you don't have infiltrators like this asshole trying to turn the brains of your sons and daughters into mush, oh, you'd best think again, because these people are everywhere. And let's listen to the peaceful things he has to say. Oh, it's all about peace and free speech.
Guys are smarter than girls. You got some serious problems. That's what frustrates me. There are going to be some males in our society that will refuse to vote for a potential female president because they don't think females are smart enough to be president. We could line all those guys up and shoot them. They clearly don't understand the way the world works. Did I say that?
The clouds are starting to part. Well, you just said that. Let me pontificate for just a moment. You just said that in front of the current generation And what does every person of this current young generation who would be in a university, what do they have on their persons? Oh, that's right. Tablets and iPhones and smartphones who take video and sometimes take video of your class just so that they can take some notes and whatnot. And then all of a sudden this guy begins to realize, oh, wait a minute, wait.
Scratch that from the recording. I don't want the deans hearing that I said that.
Yeah, and guess what happened to that guy? Oddly enough, only if people complain do people like that get dealt with. Let me also mention something that needs to be addressed. I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. There exists a concept, a BZ's axiom known as Thug's Law. And Thug's Law goes like this. Because having dealt with Thug's Law in the criminal world for 41 plus years, almost 42 years, I know I'm very well versed in Thug's Law. And it goes like this. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine, unless you're strong enough to stop me. It's the 80-20 rule. 80% of the crime is committed by roughly 20% of the population. Recidivists, parolees, probationers, etc. I speak leftist, so I'll translate for you. What that means is Thug's Law applies to leftists, Democrats, and globalists. Unless you're strong enough to stop me. What that means is unless there's someone there to actively stand up and oppose what we're doing and physically stop us or take us to court or object withstanding, we don't give a shit about the law. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing until someone stops us. That's Thug's Law. That's how it translates to the real world. More reality in the real world. This is a hate crime. There are hate crime hoaxes. By the way, if you want to know, go to hatecrimehoax.com and you'll find them. What a shock. Arizona College student accused in random classmate stabbing has attempted murder charge dropped. Now, would it be a shock to you that the student who was stabbed and had, and the female who attempted to, well, not attempted, who stabbed the other female and had the murder charge, attempted murder charge dropped, that's the suspect. Would it shock you to know that the victim was white? But we virtue signal and we do these various things. I'm not going to go into this right now, into Robert Malone. Your government works against you. I have time for this. Maybe one more story after this, if I'm quick like a bunny. Supreme Court documents leak exposed the Chief Justice Roberts of the Supreme Court was meddling in Trump's January 6th and election cases. Read his memo. I don't have the time to go into the story. If you want to find out anything about this story, you can use my source, dailymail.com.uk. Huge Supreme Court document leaks exposed Chief Justice Roberts meddling in Trump's January 6th and election cases. The government is working against you. He is part of the government. If people attempt to say that, oh, well, there is no partisanship in government and certainly not in any of the courts, well, I think I would beg to differ. Here's one final story. Your government is working against you. It's been proven time and time again that DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas has lied to Congress numerous times. And it has now been proven, here's the article from the New York Post, that he intentionally opened the southern border. This article, you could go on this for a long time. You could make an entire show just about that article. But tonight I wanted to illustrate where things are going, where they could go, that the landscape appears to be changing a little bit for the good, I postulate, and that frequently the government is not your friend. Well, I'm mostly talking about the federal government. Who used to work for the government? Anybody have any idea who that might have been? Bueller? Anybody? Way in, way out. Speaking of out, let's go out. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for being here in the saloon tonight. I greatly appreciate it. Earl Jackson, I want to remind everybody, Earl Jackson is coming to SHR in November. And then, of course, be here on our election show when we're going to have a whole bunch of people in here on the election show. Tune in election night starting at about 5 p.m. Pacific, and you'll have a great time. Lots of professionals are going to be here. And, of course, as I leave, thanks very much to the Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, also to the Shure and Electro Voice microphone companies. Products I use also the Arrakis board, the Arc Talk Blue, and Pratt & Whitney engines featuring thrust. You can trust. And where would I be without BZ's KC-135 Kettle One refueling team, with whom I shall be consorting in less than about 15 minutes out that door, 15 feet down the hallway, past 4 dogs. And again, that's the end of the show. God bless everybody. Take care. Be safe. Thanks for watching live and in podcast. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Be here. Aloha.
Everybody quiet down now and get some sleep.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Ben.
Good night, everyone. Good night, Mama. Good night, Daddy.
Good night, children. Good night, Daddy. Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Jim Bob. Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Jim Bob.
What's going on? I was asleep. What's everybody doing?
Good night,
Good night,
Jim
Jim
Bob.
Bob.
Good night, and good luck.
At Century Arms, we're committed to supporting your freedom, your rights, and your way of life. With generations of craftsmanship and innovation, we proudly provide firearms that embody the spirit of liberty. Introducing the new Sharp Brothers MB-47 rifle, designed for precision, built for strength, and ready for anything. Whether you're on the range or defending what matters most, the MB-47 rifle is where generation meets innovation. For more information, visit us at centuryarms.com now.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.